Hello everyone and welcome to the Squirro webinar about AI-driven relationship management. My name is Katarina and I work in sales and business development at Squirro. Before we start, if you have any questions during the webinar, please submit them in the chat box and we will answer your questions at the end of the webinar or via email after the webinar. Our agenda for today is the following. First, we will introduce the webinar speakers. Second, we will talk about definition and general benefits of using a CRM system. Main focus of the webinar is on the next generation of CRM systems and what it means for your business. Then we will go and show you a demo of the Squirro solution embedded in Salesforce. At the end of the webinar, we will sum up the main takeaways. And last but not least, of course, we will answer your questions in the Q&A session. Next slide, please. So in the webinar today, we have Nicolas, who's our head of delivery. We have Miguel on the call, our CRO leading the sales and marketing team. And I'm Katarina, one of the account executives. We assume that you all know and have heard about CRM systems. But nevertheless, next slide. When we talk about a CRM system, we mean a customer relationship management system, which is a technology platform for managing all your company's relationships and interactions with customers and prospects. The goal is very simple. It's to improve your business relationships. A CRM system helps companies to, first, stay connected to customers, streamline processes, and increase sales. Who are the users? So a CRM system is a tool for everyone, from sales to customer service, business development, recruiting, marketing, or any other line of business. As you see, there are many CRM systems and providers out there. But the main players in the market are Microsoft, Salesforce, Oracle, and HubSpot. Next slide. So when you think to enhance and to really leverage your existing CRM system, the next few minutes, Miguel will talk about the challenges and limitations of the current systems and what benefits you could leverage if you upgrade your CRM system with Squirro and advanced analytics. Handing over to Miguel.
Thank you very much, Katarina, for the introduction. So, as Katarina said, CRM systems are widely adopted and very well known in the market, and a lot of companies use them. Nevertheless, still a lot of companies are transitioning to a CRM system. The main reason for the acquisition of the CRM system and the main driver of the purchasing decision is usually that customers want to improve the client relationship management. Of course, client relationship management is quite a broad term. What does this actually mean? It means engaging properly with customers. So the expectation here is that the CRM will really help to do that, and at the end will also drive the pipeline, will drive revenues. Unfortunately, a lot of companies have very high expectations on what the CRM system can actually bring. When at the end implemented, they realize that a system like the CRM is mainly here to store contact information of companies, of contacts, of leads, and used mainly to keep track of the interactions with customers and manage the pipeline. Means overall, it's more like a system of record, where you store the data, you share the data, and you ensure that everybody can see what is going on and you can stay on track on it. But this is just a very small part of what client relationship management means. This just helps you in the administrative part of it. It doesn't help you really yet to engage better, to generate more pipeline, generate more revenue. And when companies realize this, they start to face one of the biggest challenges overall, which is the low CRM adoption rate and the underusage. I cannot say how often I've heard this already, and I've seen it at customers and companies that say, we have invested so much money, we have been 2 years implementing a CRM system, and now the account executives, the client relationship managers, they don't use it. They don't want to enter the call notes. The system is not kept up to date. The login rates are quite low. And this is clearly driven by that gap that I mentioned before. So it's in the whole world of client relationship management, it only covers the small bit at the beginning. Then as well, the CRM systems in the way they have been designed, and they all count here in this group, they have a rather limited search capabilities. You can, of course, search within those systems, but the reality is that you only get results of the data that is within the CRM system, when not everything is in there. We engage on multiple channels, and today, even more than ever before, we have engagements through email, we have engagements through chat systems. There are many, many ways to talk and contact the customer. And also outside the CRM system, we have document management system, knowledge bases, and so on and so on. So all this data is not available, meaning that people need to leave all the time the CRM system to gather important information to prepare the meetings. In addition to that, because we only focus, as outlined, on the data within the CRM system, missing data is one part, but also more important, the key insights from this data is not there. Again, you need to go outside, you need to read the market data, you need to spend countless hours outside of the main system. All of this, of course, leads then at the end to lower productivity, lower effectiveness. And when you spend more time doing cumbersome tasks, repetitive tasks like searching or looking for things, reading manually through things, and preparing for meetings, it's time that you do not spend with your customers. Time not spent with your customers means you will not close the business, you will not generate revenue. What can we do in that sense to solve this challenge that companies face? We at Squirro, we always talk about transformation. Transformation from a system of record, where you store the data, as we heard before, into a system of insight. If a system provides you insights, it will be a system that you use. In order to be transformational and bring the system of being insightful, we need, first of all, to integrate all the data that is relevant into the system. This starts with all the internal data, but also very important, and as said, nowadays, more and more, also the external data or market data. We at Squirro, we have strong partnerships with Refinitiv and other leading market data vendors, and we see a great benefit just alone by the integration of this market data into the CRM system, and even more by the extraction of the insights. The second point, as outlined before, if you want to have people to stay within the CRM system, that it really becomes the main tool for them on a day-to-day basis, you need to have powerful search. And what we provide here is AI-powered search capabilities across all data. All of you that have already used the CRM system know, if you do a search today in, let's say, Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics, what you will get is just a list. And then you will start to open up the different elements that are shown, and you might have to do the very loft Control-F move in order to get to the right page to find what you were looking for. With Squirro, this happens in a very, very efficient manner. You simply enter either a simple keyword or a query, or you use our interactive dashboards, and within no time, you get the results that you want. And as said, not only from the data within the CRM system, but from any source that we have connected. Bringing data together, of course, enables to have really a holistic 360-degree view. This is also a misconception of the CRM system, that the CRM out of the box provides the 360-degree view. This is not true, because, as said, all this data is missing. Through Squirro, we can enhance it, as said, but more important, just having more data is not the key. But extracting relevant insights out of the data is what is relevant and important, empowering people to be faster when preparing meetings, be more insightful in the conversations with customers, and at the end, have better engagements. Last but not least, very important, people want to get the right insights at the right time to engage properly with customers. And we have seen in many of our customers how important this is. When you contact a customer, it will not be anymore a guessing. It will not be the question, hi, we have not talked in a long time, how can I help you today? But it will be, I have read that your company wants to expand. Can I help you finance this expansion? Or I've read that you plan an investment into machines. As provider of those machines, do you want to work with us? It's a complete different conversation. The customer, the prospect will feel on the other side that the only thing that you do all day is thinking about them, which is great, of course, when you engage. So what does this bring at the end? What gains? Of course, efficient meeting preparation, data-driven engagements with customers, as outlined, very important. No time will be wasted. And at the end, it will solve one of the issues that many organizations face, that low usage, and at the end, what every company wants, it will drive revenue. With this, I'll hand over to Katharina again to introduce Squirro.
Thank you so much, Miguel. So Squirro is a Swiss software company headquartered in Zurich, but we have several offices around the world. The core focus of our data analysis is unstructured data, as Miguel outlined, meaning textual data such as an email, a contract, a call note, and documents. The core product of Squirro is the Insight Engine, and in a very simple three-step approach, you can gather data from multiple data sources, analyze them, and visualize the outcome and insights directly embedded in your CRM system. And if you want to explore more of the technical features on how the Insight Engine works, please find more information on our website or in the technical webinars on YouTube. And among our investors, we have Salesforce Ventures, and one of the main reasons for the investment was that Squirro is enhancing and accelerating capabilities of the Salesforce CRM system. We will come to that point later, and we will see Squirro's great performance in Salesforce later in a demonstration. And most recently, we have been recognized by Gartner in the Magic Quadrant for Insight Engines as one of the most visionary companies. We are an established and young company with many customers in different industries, such as financial service, manufacturing, and among our customers, we have the Bank of England, Bühler, and Henkel. And to see Squirro in action, my colleague Nicolas will show us later a demo of the Squirro solution embedded in Salesforce, focusing on sales insights. Next slide, please. But before, let me tell you more about the value of augmented intelligence. It's a human-centered model using AI to augment all of us in any task we do on a daily basis, meaning leveraging our unique capabilities like imagination and intuition combined with the smart algorithms of machines. Next slide, please. So as mentioned on the company slide, next slide, Salesforce is one of the investors of Squirro. And here we have compared the capabilities of Squirro, Tableau, and Einstein. Tableau is a visualization software focusing on business intelligence and belongs to the Salesforce group. Einstein is an AI technology that has been developed for the Salesforce customer success platform. Blue circle, meaning requirement is fully met, and white circle, meaning the requirement is not met. As you can see, Squirro has its strongest capabilities in the unstructured data analysis, where Tableau and Einstein focus more on structured data. All platforms generate insights like recommendations and next best actions, but Squirro again has its core focus on unstructured data. To dive deeper into this, Squirro generates insights not only from the data within Salesforce or any other CRM system, but also focuses on third-party providers, such as Refinitiv, Thomson Reuters, Morningstar, Biznote, PitchBook. And these data providers and news publishers have a lot of unstructured data, so text-based data, which Squirro has the capability to first connect this data to Salesforce and second, analyze it. Last point, when you think about the already mentioned third-party data providers or any other additional source, we can link them directly and integrate this to Salesforce. And once the data runs through the Squirro engine, that data is indexed and classified. And as Miguel outlined and mentioned, this allows you to improve your cognitive search within your Salesforce environment. Next slide. So what challenges does Squirro solve actually? So for the sales team, you can increase your data ROI, meaning investment buying a lot of data and sources to upsell and to cross-sell across products, because the platform is recommending you automatically to whom, when, and about what to talk with your customer. For the sales department, Squirro can improve customer service and through automation also reduce operation costs. And for the data scientists and data analysts, Squirro's natural language processing and machine learning can take Tableau and Einstein to the next level. The integration. By integration, all applications, data sources, and devices, Squirro helps you to make Salesforce everyone's preferred workbench. And maybe to mention here, Squirro has a one-click data connector to directly source data and connect Squirro to the Salesforce environment. And now I talked enough. I will hand over to Nicola to see Squirro in action, and he will show us a demonstration of Squirro's solution embedded in Salesforce and focusing on sales insights.
Thank you, Katharina. Now it's time for the demo. So I'm going to show you the demo, end-to-end demo from Squirro integrated into the CRM. So in this case, this is an example of Salesforce CRM, but not only Salesforce CRM, but we do integrate as well with different CRM, such as Microsoft Dynamics or others. So when we start, we are greeted as a user, main user, to the main screen that allows you to have some personalized information already. So we call it here communities. Depending on the different account you are working with, you can subscribe to those communities. You can see here in this case, I'm subscribed to the Targets Corporation, the Walgreens, and so on. The system is also going to give me some recommendation based on my activities or the different account I'm working with. So for example, if I want to follow, for example, industry accounts that are relevant in my industry, in this case, or opportunities or even leads. Let's go into the main screen. So here, this is the personal view, and we support two personas as of today. The main one is the persona's sales rep. So the sales rep will have a consolidation of all the different accounts from his own sales rep. So it's seen here as the world, or you can have the view from the sales rep account. So if I click here, now I will be greeted with only my account as a sales rep. So in this case, I would have here the target account or the Mercy account, and I have a consolidated view about the sentiment about those accounts. So I can see in this case, I have three clients, my clients, that I have positive sentiments, or I have also two accounts where the negative sentiment is visible here. And we can see in this case here that we have Mercy negative sentiments. This is really an important aspect because Squirro will give you those recommendations and those signals automatically and to take actions. So if I see here, for example, a negative sentiment, then I want to go to the account and I want to drill down and really understand what's going on with this account and why this account is actually negative. What I have here as well is the news. So news can come from many different outlets, can come from internal news, for example, call notes and so on, or external news. So we support just public news, any public news you can imagine, but we support premium as well news outlets such as Refinitiv and FactSet and so on. So now let's move on to the product expansion. So I see that for the target here, I want to better understand what's going on here for the product expansion. So I just click on it, and now I go to the next screen that allows me now to drill down into what kind of signals, or I want to understand where those signals come from. I don't have only product expansion here, but I have also three other signals. For example, rumor that was generated between March 23rd to March 26th. And then we have also here an example of a product launch. Where does this information come from? Well, it comes from the news, article, news, and so on. And so we have been able to identify those different signals here, rumor, here, product expansion. And when I click on it, then I will be directly located where this rumor comes from. So this is now really a way for the the end user to take action again. So what kind of action can I do here? Well, I think this is actually a good rumor in this example. So what I want to do, then I want to be able to create a new lead. And then I go directly back to the Salesforce in this case, I create my new leads, and then I can move forward in this case. Good, let's go now back to the homepage. So back to the homepage, we have now this information again about the different accounts, but I want to go now really get into the 360 view of the account. Again, I take as an example here the target account, and let's go to the account. So what I see here, 360 view of my account. We have many different information about this account. The one we have here is the engagement. So very important aspect of mainly, I would say, sales manager, but not only. It could be definitely also as a sales rep, because I want to see who talks to who with my account. So in this case, I can see that Henry King here has been the most active for the past 30 days and has been talking to quite a few of the contacts at Target in this case. So very interesting. So maybe I need to talk to Henry and really understand what's going on. Then we have also information, a roll-up about all the activities that's going on with this account. So here, product and topics. And obviously, then we are having also analysis on the sentiment that allows you to get a better sense of if this account is going into the right direction or not. Where does that come from? Again, textual information. So I can at any time go and drill down about this information. So in this case here, I take a call note, and here I'm greeted with the call note itself to better understand what's going on. I can even go deeper if I want to. So I can open this view here, and now I have the sentiment and engagement over time. So I can see here with the blue line that we have the total engagement. So we see here the engagement is picking up beginning of the year, and then it goes a bit down. The same with the negative and the positive information. If I go down, I have now the communication map. So this is like another view, if you will, about who talks to who from the target account, contacts, and the sales rep. So the redder the place here is, the more people are talking to each other. Now we go a bit higher, and I'm interested in the call notes. So this is a typical view that is used to see all the call notes in one view. So those call notes are obviously available in Salesforce, but here we are using the call notes to make it easier for the end user, and we add the sentiment for each call note. So when we see, for example, a call note with the negative sentiments, then that's something that we should maybe have a look at. And then finally here for the 360 view, I have all the documents that are consolidated for this account. So as we all know, when we work an account, we need to be able to have an holistic view about what's happening from the document perspective. So the typical one are the sales presentation, the contracts, and any type of documents that you might need to have available here. We index all those documents so that if you need to search for documents, you remember like back then you did a presentation a month ago or so, so you can easily here search, and here we will use the cognitive search of Squirro so that you will be able to find the right document at the right time. Finally, the last view I wanted to show is the SWOT analysis. This is another view. This one is a view from the accounts. So we consolidate in all the accounts to have a better view of which one we should work on or not. We compute this by having this, if we look at strengths, for example, that we have the positive engagement and the high engagement. And on the other side, obviously, if we have a low engagement and a negative sentiment, then is a threat here. So this concludes the demonstration of Squirro integrated in Salesforce. And I want to highlight 3 more elements that to understand the value of this. The first one is really Squirro is there to consolidate the data silos. So when we talk about data silos, those are information in Salesforce, they could be information in SharePoint, public news, and so on. So this is really the view that we bring in a single coherent view. The second one is we generate insights and recommendation at the right time to be able to have the best next action for you ready in your dashboard so you can start the day right away. And then finally, we bring sentiment analysis and engagement map on one account or multiple accounts. Thank you. And this concludes the demonstration.
Thank you, Nicolas, for this insightful demonstration. To sum it up, next slide, please. I have put together the 3 main takeaways from our webinar. So first, boost your sales pipeline by directly integrating Squirro in your Salesforce CRM system or any other CRM system. For that, we have a pre-built data connector, as mentioned, to Salesforce to work with all the data, especially unstructured data within Salesforce. And second, get automatically recommendations about relevant talking points to improve your conversation with your customer and therefore the customer relationship, meaning talking to the right customer at the right time. And last but not least, I want to highlight that Squirro transforms your CRM system from a system of record to a system of insight. Next slide. Now we have some questions from the audience. Let me see. So I would kindly like to ask Miguel to answer these questions. First question, Miguel. So can you work and integrate your solution with other CRM systems as well?
Yeah, a question that we get asked quite frequently. Also because Salesforce has invested in Squirro, a lot of customers assume that we only work with Salesforce, which is not true. We have successfully embedded Squirro in many different CRM systems, among them very often also into Microsoft CRM Dynamics, into Pipedrive, and other leading CRM systems, also like Sugar CRM. There are basically almost no CRM system which doesn't allow the integration. Basis for that is that API integration is allowed, that an iframe can be embedded into the solution, and that basically the IT team allows this iframe to be embedded.
Yep, thank you for answering this. We got a second question. So what is the best way to start working with Squirro?
So we have a couple of ways to start engaging with Squirro, mainly 3. Customers that first want to see how the solution performs in context of the CRM can either do a pilot, means they can work with a reduced data set with just a few users and outside of a productive environment for a period of time, usually of around 4 to 8 weeks. Then get to the conclusion and see if they want to go into the production mode. There is another engagement option, which is a bit closer already to production, which we call the MVP, the minimum viable product, where we also work with less data and with a reduced number of users, but we already work in a live environment. Means Squirro would already be embedded and will be part of the day-to-day usage of the CRM system. Last but not least, as we have already implemented Squirro a lot of times, and we have a lot of success cases and testimonials confirming that, there are also many customers that directly just want to implement the solution and go for a rollout. So that will be the last option.
Okay, thank you for answering that. So the other questions from the audience, we will answer them via email after the webinar. So I have to thank the audience for listening. We are very much looking forward to hearing your feedback. And if you're interested in a deep dive of Squirro solution, please contact me directly. Have a great day. Goodbye.